Hello viewers. Today I wanted to share with you my 2016 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. Technically this is not my vehicle, it's actually a work vehicle that I received January of 2017 with just 11 miles on it. And through the years, it's predominantly been my work vehicle. Really, a lot of saddle time. There was a brief period, a year or two, that I turned it into the office, and a colleague of mine used it for a while, and quite frankly, really beat the heck out of it. Ultimately, I needed another company vehicle, so I elected to take this one back. So today it sits at 193,000 and change. When I turned it in, it had 160 after owning it since it was new. And then when I received it back, it had, I think 180. So really where it gets its mileage from, driving from Ohio to Massachusetts and back, quite a bit of that. And that's predominantly where the mileage has come from. But this is the first Jeep I've ever owned, and this Jeep, yes, I knew Jeep Grand Cherokees are very popular, Jeep Wranglers and etc., but I didn't really know much about the quality. I know it's a Daimler Chrysler brand, Stellantis, or however you say it, and you hear mixed things about the quality. I have to say, I fell in love. This is a plain Jane Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. No bells and whistles, no leather interior, no sunroof, just very basic, but it has a lot of stuff built into it, which impressed me. But what most impressed me is this thing's reliability. It only has its second set of brakes on it. That would make sense. I replaced the brakes the first time, and the only time, at I think about 120,000 miles. That would make sense with all the highway driving. Has the original battery. The only thing this has ever been in for is oil changes, tire rotations, cabin filters, I think at some point plugs and air filters and typical maintenance. I have not had the issues that others have had, and I do follow these in the group on Facebook. Now, I've seen people in the group with Jeeps with 200, 250, and even I saw one recently with 350,000 miles on it with all original. So it certainly is possible. And since then, there was a brief time in 2021, I purchased a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit with the Hemi in it. And I drove that for about a year as my personal car. And that's kind of where I handed in this vehicle. And then after about a year, I wanted something bigger, so I got a Suburban, which is a whole nother story. But for a company vehicle, I snagged this one back. And the Summit was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, with the Hemi and the leather and the huge sunroof, the air suspension and all the bells and whistles that go with it. But something was just very great about this one, just plain Jane, workmanlike, all business. So just a quick walk around. I have really, I really take care of my vehicles in terms of washing them and keeping up with keeping them clean, as well as the maintenance. Most of my vehicles, or all of my vehicles, I typically hand wax several times a year. This, being it was a company vehicle, I decided, just keep it going through the car wash and whatnot. So I personally have not hand waxed this vehicle in any way. So the color on this is bright white. All these years later and all these miles later, it's still bright white. The original wheels, there's some scuffing. If I got up close, a little bit of scuffing, but there's sometimes wheels, when they get this mileage on them, they start to like peel off or oxidize. There's none of that on this. It's just some dings, really just road dings. As you probably gathered if you follow Jeeps, this has the 3.6 Pentastar which I knew, again, zero about when I first got this vehicle. But now I would say, while I was typically an old school with V8s and whatnot, this is the first 6-cylinder vehicle I've ever owned. I typically was a Panther platform type guy and a Mustang guy. So this really, really surprised me. 292 horsepower, it goes, it's decent. It's not as powerful as the Hemi, of course, but it's reliable and it has some power. So I know this motor at this point is going away in 2025 in favor of the turbo 4-cylinders. It gets me nervous because it's just a new motor that hasn't been proven yet. I'm sure it's plenty powerful, and I'm not a big turbo guy with the turbo lag and the sound, but I guess I'll get over it, right? So just again, a quick walk around. What I didn't point out is, you may not pick it up on camera, the only really issue with the paint is there's some road rash up front on the bumper, and that's just from hours and thousands of miles on the highway, and so that's natural. I think if you were to do anything to this vehicle cosmetically, you might just have that taken care of or done, but still it's not very, very obvious unless you walk really up on it. Windshield was replaced this winter. There's a couple dings in it that hung on for a couple of years, and then eventually they just spread with the cold weather over the winter. So we'll open it up. As you can see, I really I do like to keep the interior pretty pristine, but again, plain Jane with the cloth interior. Nothing fancy about this Jeep, but it's gotten me home every single time. And it has, again, the mileage 193,726. Before long it'll be at 200. The screen, I know the more recent models have the more integrated touch screen, and if we take a look at the screen, you know, so it kind of has like the older style graphics, whatnot. There's no CarPlay on this. Kill that. There's no CarPlay on this, so you're doing everything good old USB, but whatever, right? Yeah, so very reliable vehicle. The one thing I never did like about these is the paddle shifters, especially in the Laredo. Like, really, there's been times I've been in traffic and you accidentally tap them and it just like it really distracts you. It's the only thing I gotta say I didn't like. Love the user interface, even though this is the older one. The new one picks up on where this one leaves off. The controls, there's redundancies for everything, which is great. And it's just a pleasure to drive. It really is. Really is. And you know, if you want to see the back seat, plain Jane back seat. What you see is what you get. And very happy, very, very happy. I'd probably get killed in the comments for saying this, but as I said, I'm a Panther platform guy, you know, Grand Marquis, town cars, whatnot. To me, this is kind of like the modern Grand Marquis in a way. I know it's not body on frame. I know it's a unibody. I know it's smaller. I get all that. It's not V8 rear-wheel drive. Well, this is not V8. But it's just that in terms of that utility, that just that keep running and keep running and keep running and keep running. I get it. That's where I kind of draw the similarities. This mat was not original. This mat actually came from yet another Summit. So I had acquired another Summit after the Summit I just talked about in the beginning of this video. It was the slate blue, which is kind of rare with the Hemi and the black interior. So I got my hands on that. Another one, I had it for a month and I hit a deer. Totaled it. They totaled it out on me. So that's kind of what really solidified me. Just keep going back to this white Laredo, and I decided I'm just gonna run it into, I guess, the proverbial ground. But what I'll end up doing quite possibly is we kind of have a policy in place when our work vehicles get up to 200,000, we retire them, which makes sense. We have a fleet of Pacificas for that, and this is more of an executive vehicle, if you will. So likely I'll buy it from the company and use it as a spare vehicle, kind of like a work vehicle. And then I have a son who's not close to driving age, but getting there. Could be his first vehicle. So let me know what you think. Is it this kind of an oddity that I have something like this with so many miles on it and really no issue at all? Or is this kind of the norm if you take care of it properly? Or because it doesn't have air suspension and all the bells and whistle, is it make it more reliable? Let me know in the comments what you think. Am I crazy for trying to compare it to a Panther? And for those of you who don't know what a Panther is, again, Grand Marquis, Lincoln Town Car, Crown Vic. Let me know, and thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one. Make sure you subscribe and like this video.